Hello guys, welcome to Survival Russia. Thank you very much for all the what you can say participation or engagement in the video yesterday. It was an awesome trip, but this video is not of course about yesterday's video. This video is about boots. It's a pretty important topic, and I get a lot of questions about this and that, and I think there might be some kind of surprising info on this for some of you. I am at the Homestead, so I'll have to make the video here because we have a cold wind coming from this direction there, and it's not so good for the microphones and so on. Also, I had two guys claiming that yeah, I just go for a 20-minute walk and call myself an expert on everything and so on. I never claim to be an expert on anything, but I do not have to go for a 20-minute walk to be in the wilderness, because I know, can you see the brown spots on the trees over there? That's a bear coming into the garden and breaking off branches from on the pear and apple trees. But the video is also not about that. But anyway, I'm not claiming to be an expert on anything, as I said. But I think I do have the privilege of saying that I know some things about some things, and I like to share the things that I think I know something about anyway. So let's get into the boots thing. The rubber boots here, short, and the long ones here. You see, they go up to here. They're pretty underestimated, and it's most likely due to or caused by marketing of all sorts of more fancy types of boots, right? And then some people get paid to say that these are awesome. They might be, but anyway, these type of boots here, short and long, as I said, they often get very much criticism and so on. And I want to talk a little bit about these because as I said, this is most likely one of the type of boots I use the most. Why are rubber boots awesome? Definitely in the spring and in the wet seasons and so on, and if you have to cross creeks and this and that and swamps and so on and so forth, rubber boots, they're pretty awesome. When I, for example, have to stay at the cabin in the forest or something like this, or just at a campsite for overnight or two or something like this, the rubber boots, they excel in the sense that they need no maintenance, and they dry really fast because they don't get wet really. They get a little bit of condensation on the inside, but they dry really fast. And as I say, no maintenance is needed. You can say one of the small downsides is that you'll get some condensation within the boot. You'll get that in most boots, I'll say. But of course in rubber boots, condensation can be higher. but I've never experienced a real problem from this. I also use thin wool socks and thick wool socks in the boots here, and wool felt liner. So the socks and the wool liner there is the only thing that have to dry around the campfire. You can hang the boots like this, close to the campfire or something like this, not too close of course, but they will dry inside really fast. There is one important thing to carry when you are using, or I am using, these long boots here. An important thing to carry is glue and some patches to patch up the boots. Why is that important? If I'm out 10 kilometers or something like this or whatever, and I have crossed some deeper waters, and I tear a hole in the boot, that means I of course also have to get back, right? And it's gonna be not so awesome if I have a hole up here in the knee area or something like this, and the boot will fill up with water. I've tried this in very early spring with a boot like this, full of runoff from the ground snow, from the snow and ice and so on. That was really cold. So guys, yeah, I just arrived now, completely wasted, and boots full of water. But again, they dry fast, and sometimes, yeah, I use the foot wraps in these. It's really awesome. As I said, I'm wearing the foot wraps that now looks not so great. If you're wearing rubber boots like these things here or other jack boots, and you're in a situation where you look like this, everything is just wet, then it's actually preferable to put these foot wraps on, because they will not move anywhere, especially not when they're wet. I mean, I could have changed to socks, but I knew that if I changed to socks, the socks will sit out here on the forefront of the foot, and that will not be awesome. Me and Sergey, for example, or me alone, but me and Sergey, we do easily plus 20 kilometers in these. No problem. No problem. There we have the river we crossed a few times. As I said, there's a little branch down there of the river. Even in cold weather, I can say you can use rubber boots down to about -1, 2, 3. Depends on the size. If you have a bigger rubber boot and some bigger, thicker socks, they're awesome. The only thing they're not really awesome for is hiking on the roads. But when we're in the forest and swamps and this and that, it's always soft ground. But I walked like, I don't know, 7-8 kilometers sometimes on the road with these on the way home. It's not super awesome, but just get it done, right? If you want a really good brand of rubber boots, then look up the Norwegian Viking brand. They make super awesome boots. These look like rubber boots, but they are not rubber boots. They're kind of rubber boots. But these are made from a relatively thick foam. They're very popular here because they're cheap and they're effective. These are some Russian-made ones. In Russia they're called EVA boots, something about the foam, blah blah blah. But what they basically consist of is a inner sock like this and a boot. And you know, these boots supposedly are rated for -20 Cs, and these are much warmer than ordinary rubber boots. But as all companies, you know, how do they reach their decision on the rating is this and this and that, because these are not awesome in -20. Yeah, if you're walking and so on, they're kind of okay. If you're static and tra-la-la-la-la, then even at lower temperatures like now, it would be feelable, but nothing like wearing the cold would be feelable, but nothing like wearing ordinary rubber boots, only because they get cold pretty fast. Yeah, the performance of these foam boots here, they depend highly on the sock, of course. You can also put felt sole in the bottom. I have some heavy duty ones which are rated to -55. They of course perform a little bit better in the cold, but still -55 in those will not be that awesome. But yeah, they kind of work. If you use 100% wool inner sole and so on, inner sock and a sole, then it would be great, of course. So yeah, that's the foam boot. One thing which is not great about the foam boot here is it does not like fire. You can just show it to a campfire and they will shrink. One of me and Sergey's friends, he dried these close to the oven, and he's a big guy. He wears size 47. He was most likely size 12 or 13 or something. And the next morning these were around about size 45 or something like this. But he had to make it out in them. So yeah, that's how it is. They can also puncture, what you can say, like the rubber boots. They can be repaired with the super glue, you know, with the fast glue. They're not so happy about the normal bicycle glue and all this stuff and patches. For some reason it doesn't bind that well. These are 100% wool inner socks, and they are really awesome. And I actually ordered a pair of these inner socks to use in my rubber boots. I have expensive boots, expensive Gore-Tex boots from Hakes and whatnot and so on. And honestly, I have not used them for years. I used them at some point here, but it became pointless because when you go out that much, your boots will not even dry. The leather will not even dry, and then you have to have a lot of boots and blah blah blah. The advantages of the rubber boot, now we're going back to the rubber boots actually, but one of the advantages is that like any jack boot, it ventilates quite nicely. You really want some circulation in your lower legs and muscles, calf muscles and so on, to get this the blood flowing in the feet as well, right? So this is another reason I do not use laced boots really any longer. What I just wanted to share today really was that boots for the outdoors and so on, it does not necessarily have to be expensive and with Gore-Tex membranes and all that funky stuff, because in my opinion it's not super awesome. In some other people's opinions it is, but my Gore-Tex boots, they've just been parked simply. But anyway guys, thank you for watching this most likely not the most exciting Friday video of all time, but hopefully we'll have an interesting weekend, and hopefully you will check the links in the description, and so share and subscribe, so bell, so like and all that good stuff, and get out and train and get it done, and see you in the next one guys, and have a great weekend. Thank you for your time, thank you for your support.